Okay, we're back with another Down and Back Live here. We've got, as you can see, Christine Papcke, Samantha Finley, and our local competitive player, Ariel talking cornhole here. I'm not sure. I know we kind of talked off here, Christine and Samantha. I don't know if we're going to get into Florida a whole lot, because that could be a touchy subject, I think.
A little bit.
But yeah, I think I just rewatched that again, and it was funny to see how you guys are both kind of, you throw the same way, you're hitting that same spot on the board, and then your partners at the other end were they were going for it. Like, they're both aggressive players, and you guys were kind of the more chess type players.
Yeah, I think my ESPN live feed throwing is more of a little more safe player. Whereas normally, like in other games, I would be the one like going for crazy shots. But it's fun either way.
Yeah. So we've had Christine on the show before. So Samantha, your background playing cornhole. Just, where you got started and.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I started from my mom's friend that she worked with. They were like building boards and just playing in their backyard. So we started doing that, doing like backyard tournaments and at little local bars. And then it wasn't until my mom actually went to Ohio and met Christine and she started playing competitively with them while she worked there for about a year and a half. And then when she came home and she's like, we have to go to these big tournaments. It's so fun, blah, blah, blah. And then we were hooked ever since.
So I think Ariel, you're almost the same way, kind of with your dad getting started.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of hard to hear her. I can't hear her very well. For some reason, it's cutting in and out. So I'm getting little sentences, and then all of a sudden it cuts. So
okay.
I can't hear very much of what she said there. But yeah, I was.
Your dad kind of needed a practice partner, I think, is what it kind of come down to.
Yeah, for sure.
He's kind of playing at the trailer, and that I know just from the way he talks and what he's been going on. So.
Yes, for sure.
And plus, with you, it's the whole family thing for you, because you have your grandmother Kim plays, your mom Kylie plays, you play, and then I think we joke with your dad. He brings all the bags in a suitcase. We're not sure if it's actually his bags or his clothes in case he beats you or your mom or your grandmother.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to be prepared.
Yeah. So and then Christine, we know you were on the show here a couple weeks ago. You kind of almost started the same way.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, started in the backyard and got addicted to it and kept practicing and practicing and practicing, and you got to keep up. You got to keep playing. So it's hard right now with everything going on. So it's like, I don't know. We don't have great weather up here in Cleveland, so.
We're all not.
I'm trying to start playing again.
We're all not as lucky as Samantha down in Florida with her more sunny weather.
Yeah, I've played more this month than I've probably played in a year put together. Right. I just play all day, every day. It's awesome.
So just for anyone watching the show here, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. We'll ask away here. So I guess, like I said off the top, the kind of elephant in the room was the match in Florida, like I'd said. But I think both you guys have played great. When I watched it, because we did finally get to watch it here, and like I told Christine, it was kind of a kick in the pants for Ariel and I, because it was broadcasted as going to be the Cleveland Cornhole Mania, and it was about 2 weeks after the cancellation. So So your thoughts on that game?
Which one of us wants to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Either way.
I don't know. I don't ever take anything for granted. I know that Samantha and Cheyenne and everybody is really, really good right now. So like all it really comes down to is who has that good game at the right time. And
for sure.
It could be any of us. It really could. There's so many good players right now, even in the women's. There's so many good players that it really just depends on who's having their game at the moment.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot up and coming too.
Yeah.
From doing all this ghost and virtual cornhole, there's a lot of people that have just stepped up and really started playing.
Yeah, like that's for us, for me noticing, like we've got Ariel playing, like her grandmother plays there. Her grandmother's always in the top 4, Kim, but then we've got Nicole Hubbard out of Peterborough. We've got about like 5 or 6 new females that are now playing, that when they play, they are in the top 4. Like it's that part of the game that's really, people have to stop and take notice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two, I'm going to say there's 2 perspectives from this, because for those of us that have played for a really long time, I mean, I've been doing this for like 10 years. So I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm going to keep playing this game. So, but I respect the fact that it's going to get tougher and tougher. And I understand that. And we all have to understand that. We have to admit the fact that, yes, there are a lot of new players coming into this game, and everyone's coming for all of us.
Yeah.
So I know that. I'm aware. I'm aware, Samantha.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to come for her for years. So it was really nice to get that win, hit the championship, because I mean I've been in so many different tournaments where I'm just right behind her and couldn't beat her.
I know.
So.
But the thing is that makes this great is, like, some of us have played together for so long that whatever happens, we're still all friends. We're still, we love each other. We love seeing each other. When we get out there on the boards, yes.
It's going down.
It's competition. But at the end of the day, it's fine. Like, we, win, lose, or otherwise, we still all love each other. It's, I love it. I love the friendships. I love everybody.
It's like, I've been able to see the progression up here in Canada, because, Ariel, you got to play in we've had our first women's division actually in our last conference tournament. And unfortunately, that's one of the last times we got to play. Yes. But yeah, so how have you seen it up here? Because you went from being just kind of like, Kim, your grandmother, your mom, and yourself playing, to now there's more.
I truly enjoy it. I agree with Christine there when she says that everybody is so nice and genuine. And obviously when it comes down to playing a game, it's competitive, but they're still friends at the end of it. You know what I mean? And I've always enjoyed that, because when you do it with family, it's obvious competition, and then there's a lot of crap talking, as jokes or whatever, right? But even then, when you do it in the leagues or whatever, in the tournaments and stuff like that, they're still so nice and genuine. Even when I didn't know how to play, they were so what's the word for it? They were so word. What's the word for it? They were so respectful towards me. They didn't judge me or anything like that. They helped me. There's quite a few of them that came over to me and showed me how to throw, because at first I wasn't I couldn't hit the board. I wasn't throwing far enough. So they showed me hey, you can go, because I was standing way back, and they were you can go to the front of the board, just don't pass the front of the board. And I was oh, and then they showed me how to throw and all this stuff. So it's a really great community, and I love being a part of it.
I think you just like joining in on us making fun of your dad, I think is what what you enjoy. So Samantha, for you, and actually I want to just get a shout out to Dwayne Dillard is watching. He said, hey ladies. So and then I got another question here. So I'll go to the question first, and I'll go back to what I was going to say. Is on average, how much do you practice a week?
For me, before all of this, I was playing maybe a blind draw or 2 a week, and then trying to play in a bigger tournament on the weekends. So it was normally, on a good week, I could play 3 times. If we're counting starting the month of April, I'm playing 7 days a week.
Now, Christine, I know you've kind of said you've laid off the bags a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on this weather here in Cleveland, so we'll see. I've played a couple times in the past week, so I'm getting back into it. I think I'll be fine. The muscle memory is still there.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
So has your dad had you out playing at all, Ariel?
Yeah. Like I said, the weather's kind of on and off. Like one day it's sunny and then the next day it's like snowing. So it kind of depends. But when the weather is nice, we're out there throwing almost for at least 4 hours. Like we'll sit there and throw when it's nice out. Yeah.
So, and then like Ariel had talked about family. I'm going to say one, like when Christine and I talked before, Samantha, you and her are almost going to say like family because of your past knowing each other.
Yeah, we've been playing together I've been playing for maybe like, I don't know, 8 years or so. And I mean, I've been playing with Christine all 8 years.
Yeah.
Maybe the first year when I was just doing the backyard stuff, I didn't know anyone yet, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Because I think, Christine, you had even said that you guys she had moved in with you for a bit.
No, her mom was,
her mom
was working up in Cleveland with us, and that's how we all met. So, yeah, that's how we all bonded and became friends, and we are still friends. They stayed at our house in Cleveland for the national that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Ariel, we know that we're trying to work on an Octane sponsorship for you. So we're trying to get you sponsored. And we know, Christine, you have that small little Reynolds company that kind of helps sponsor you out. So Samantha, you're a shout out to your sponsors. So who do you have that sponsors you?
Well, I do have Reynolds, and then Dave & Buster's, Plato's Closet, Advancescape, and then I have a couple coming on board. AR Roofing, and it's a restoration company that my uncle owns that's also coming on board. It's Lakeside Restoration. So I have a few coming up, but Dave & Buster's and Reynolds, Boardman have all been there the last couple years.
So I know from the past, just kind of saying you've had a kind of close friendship with Rob Chismark. So I did reach out to him last night and say, hey, is there anything to know about Samantha? Any question we should ask? And
oh gosh,
and that's what I was thinking too. Oh God! And the question he came up with was just, how do you think you're going to fare out once we get started back up?
I don't know. I mean, I'm ready, and I've definitely been playing more than I have been. So I'm hoping just to stay at the top. Like Christine said, there's so many women that are playing and doing awesome. So it's going to be tough, but I'm hoping to stay up there towards the top. Even with Florida, we didn't come out with the win, but to make it up there that's the goal. So we'll see. Exactly.
Yeah, you always want that TV time and to be able to be seen.
Yeah.
So again, anyone who's watching, if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat. And I'm hoping the chat works this week. Last week it was kind of not working for me, but so Ariel, do you have any questions for Christine or Samantha?
Oh God.
Not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but just
I don't have any right now.
Okay.
But I'm sure I will have some throughout the show.
Yeah. So Christine, so we had talked before. When do you kind of anticipate us maybe possibly coming back?
Oh yeah,
I know
I don't know when we're gonna us in Cleveland. We usually have a lot of stuff going on in terms of leagues and tournaments. So now it's just kind of, I don't know, up in the air with everything. So for me right now, it's just a matter of the weather's getting nicer and I need to start getting back and practicing again and getting ready for whatever comes soon. So.
Yeah. So, and then Samantha, did you actually, I want to say that you did participate in the one pro event that was going on within the last couple of weeks. Did I see that correctly? Yeah.
The Prize Picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's just a matter of playing the virtual tournaments, and I have had a lot of time and great weather to be able to do that. So I was able to participate in that, and it's awesome what ACL is doing to allow us to keep playing. It's a little different than having real life competition, but it's still awesome. And I've actually grown to really like doing it virtually and not being as like afraid of the camera and stuff like that.
So you actually like it? Like it's.
Yeah, I've had a great time doing it.
Yeah.
At first, I was nervous. I was nervous because I was like, anyone could just be clicking on it and watching it. Like, what if I, like, I don't know, what am I doing with my hands? Like random stuff like that. And then I mean, I've done it so many times now. There are days that I play like 6-7 hours straight. So I'm just like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. So it's, I know from myself, when I get on video, I usually just go a deep dive down, and I'm not sure. Like I was talking with Christine, I got to play my first virtual tournament on the weekend, and just looking for easy places to play. I picked Cleveland to be a tournament to play in because there's nobody's good in Cleveland, right? So you're throwing 6s and 8s for myself in warm up, and then once you go live, then it's like 2 and 3, and it's like, oh, so I'm luckily I got 2 buys that give me 2 wins in that tournament, but yeah. So was there a different feel then for you playing, Samantha, virtually, when there was that possibility of people bet? Like, I'm not sure if yours, I know the first weekend there was a chance of people being able to bet whether you're going to go over the certain score or not. Did that kind of give you a bit more of a like I have to do better kind of thing?
Kind of, like, it definitely makes you more nervous knowing that people are putting bets on how you're going to do. My whole thing is, if I can make it through the first couple of rounds, I'm not too worried about it. Because normally, like you said, as soon as the live starts, then it's just kind of like that's when I would throw my rough rounds. But if I start off strong, then I'm like, okay, we're fine, got this. And then at the end of the third game that I played, I had to have 4 bags in to go over. So that was stressful, but it worked out.
Yeah. So I just want to say hello to Terry's Gigi, and Gigi was watching, and Kim Pohl is watching. So Ariel, you got the family watching. So yeah, she says everyone does well in warm ups, and she's beat me enough time to see that I've done well in warm ups until I start playing her. But yeah, it's I think that this whole new being able to bet on things or whatever with the ACL is just, I think that's just going to open us up a whole lot more with exposure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So did you get a chance to check any of that out this weekend when your dad didn't have you on the board there, Ariel?
Kind of, sorta. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's for me. It's just seeing people's different styles and just how they throw, and you don't really want to tweak your own throw as much, but it's just seeing how other people play.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I guess we're not going to be going to. Well, I guess it's past now for Salt Lake, but our next one would be Philly, and then the ACL final. So I'm not able to make it down to any of those there. But any predictions for Christine, Samantha, on what may happen there?
Well, I think we both have the same goal. And what we're hoping is going to be the prediction that we'll meet up again in the finals.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we both
For me, I'm hoping we switch around the first and second place, but either way.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, now
I love you.
Now, saying that, both of you went into this tournament here in Fort Lauderdale with new partners, because I know you were with Rosie last year, Samantha, and Christine,
Yeah.
we know your change. So how much of a change was that for you going into a bigger tournament with a new partner? Well, I guess we'll go to Samantha first, just because we've got Christine last time. So
For me, Cheyenne and I live close by each other, so we had played in quite a few tournaments together already. So I do think that helped. Like, we already know each other's playing style and pretty comfortable with it. So for us, it was just another tournament, just bigger.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then with you, Christine. So if is Megan going to be sticking around or?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was scared, obviously. I was used to playing with Stacia and going into the first national right before. I've never played with somebody before. Yeah, it was scary. I was nervous, but she's a really good player and I knew she was. So I felt confident going into it, but you never know at the beginning when you're with somebody new, you never know if you're going to click or have that chemistry. So it was nerve wracking at first going. And for me, most of the time leading into something, I'm more nervous than when I start playing. Once I start playing, I'm fine. So once we started playing the games together and we knew it was working, then I'm okay. So yeah, we did good together. And yes, I will keep playing with her.
Yeah. So another question has come in. This is actually from my cousin who helps helps produce this show kind of, if he can. But I know he's just moved into a new house, so he's asking how often does the sound of you practicing at home attract your neighbors to come and play or maybe join in?
For me, not really any. I mean, I just moved recently, so I actually have like neighbors close by, so they'll ask questions here and there, but normally I don't really see many people when I'm throwing if I'm out in the yard practicing.
And I'm guessing, Ariel, everyone around your house knows that you guys play because your dad tells you out there playing all the time.
Yeah, all the time. We even have people that walk around the neighborhood or whatever, and they'll see us playing on the front yard, and they get instantly intrigued, and they're like, "Oh, what is this game?" And we go telling them about it, and we always mention going to the league in Kitchener at 8 Wise. We tell them, you guys got to go. It's so much fun, and if you don't know how to play, that's okay. They'll teach you, and yeah, like we always encourage it and stuff like that. We get a bunch of people. We've had quite a few neighbors that have come over and just have a beer and throw some bags just to get the concept of it, right? But yeah, we get quite a few of them.
Yeah, I just get the looks here because I've got all kind of older neighbors, so they all just think, "What's that noise?"
Yeah.
You got to stop it. But yeah. So again, anyone who's in the chat, we got some people watching. Any questions? Just feel free to ask. So I know that Ariel, you're using your Octane bags. You've got your own bags now. Christine, you're using the Reynolds bags. So Samantha, what bags are you using?
I'm using Reynolds Pro Advantage.
Yeah, so yeah, we've got some people that actually do throw those Reynolds around here, and when they do, they do like it. Yeah, the thumbs up from Christine there. Yeah.
Sorry, gotta plug it. Reynolds Bags, reynoldsbags.com.
Hey, that's like I said before. That's your sponsor. It's you gotta let them off because they are a good, we're not gonna lie, they are a good reliable bag, and I've heard good things about their customer service, but I don't know, it's because we're not sure who that person is. But yeah, so I asked Christine before. So Samantha, your thoughts on this big bag boom? How it's kind of gone crazy where they're almost more expensive than gold. I've said
times. That is it's crazy.
It's
I mean, I know that I'm thankful that I like bags that aren't the cost of gold, and I can get them in just a few days, and they break in really quickly. And I haven't had the desire to try too many of the other ones just yet, just because I'm happy with what I'm playing with. But I think it's awesome for all the bag companies that it's just booming.
Well, exactly, yeah, and I think that's the good thing as well too, that we've got so many different bag makers now that there is that whole kind of now I've lost the word, the wide variety of bags out there for different styles, right? Because
I'm so indecisive. I feel like if I try too many of them, I won't ever know what to pick up. So
So another question here, another person from that Ariel you may know. Your dad is now asking, how do you deal with nerves in big pressure games?
Oh,
Well,
oh boy.
So I guess we'll go to Christine first here. So you're dealing with nerves in big pressure games.
I take lots of deep breaths, honestly. That's what I do. Like, before I go out there, I'm like, I talk myself into the fact that I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. I can throw the bags in the hole. So just take a deep breath and throw your bag. That's really it. Like, you just need to keep those nerves down and stay calm and throw slow and don't get into somebody else's rhythm. But everybody's going to have something that they're going to do differently in their mind before they play and while they're playing. So you just need to find that thing that helps you calm down. And when you're playing, remember those things that you need to do while you're throwing. Like I have, I step, I'm a stepper. So, plant your foot, follow through, slow down. And, you have certain things that you need to go through mentally. And you just got to come up with those things and then you'll be fine.
yeah, that's all good. Yeah. I'm more of just like, don't think too much about it. Walk up there and just throw. If I think too much between each bag, I feel like I just kind of will go left, right. So I just take it and throw it and try not to think too much. And I definitely say stuff to myself, of course, like Christine said, like, you've done this before, you're fine. You know how to put the bag in the hole. Just do it.
Yeah. Like we didn't just start doing this. Like
sometimes I have to like yell at you. Like I'll scold myself. Like, come on. Yeah. Like if I do throw one off, I'm like, seriously, you know what you're doing. Like there's no deep breaths and positive thoughts. It's like, put the bag in the hole.
I think I've seen you say, or even hear you say that a few times, Ariel.
Yes.
So yeah, like I know that I had seen one interview with Matthew Sorrells, and he said he actually goes and talks himself through each throw, saying arm here, release here, and kind of each little thing that he does, he kind of says in his mind as he's throwing to kind of keep that same kind of rhythm going all the time. So
I think everybody's going to be different. Mm-hmm. Everybody has their own things that they need to do to. I mean, it really is a mental game too. It really is. So, like, you need to find those things that you need to mentally tell yourself, or not, for that matter. I mean, if you don't want to think about it, like, but you need to figure out your own way at it to keep your consistency and not let it get into your head, because it's very easy for it to get into your head.
Yes. Sorry, moving over.
Especially when it gets really stressful out there.
Yes, I can definitely vouch for that. Yeah, I have a really bad habit of doing that to myself. Like if I throw off the board or something, where I get a corn dug at the end of the board, or I throw way over the board, I tend to talk myself down. I get so mad at myself, and I'm trying to fix that. I am, but I get mad at myself. Like I'm like, really? Like, how did I miss that? I know I can get it in the hole. Like, how did I manage to just totally throw that over the? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I have a really bad habit of that, but like I totally
you just
agree.
need to find a way to calm yourself down and get back to being able to throw them in the hole again. Because everybody's going to have a bad round. Everybody's going to have a bag that they throw that doesn't quite do what they want to do. You just got to calm yourself down and get back to, I'm good.
Yeah, don't hang on to the bad rounds.
Reset.
Yeah. And I'm going to say thanks for the shout out, Ariel, because Christine and Samantha, you may not know, that's how I got the name Corn Dog. Was I usually throw about a foot short of the board sometimes, so that then became known as a corn dog here. And so that's kind of how Ariel got to know that there. So we got Dwayne Diller said it is a very mental game, that it's you need to be strong mentally. And Steve Ariel's dad here also said we end up getting in our own heads for sure, which I think that happens way too many times for some people that play.
Definitely.
So then, we know that Christine has been was a runner before. I know, Ariel, you play softball. So Samantha, did you have or do you not play anymore?
My sister plays, but I watch her all the time.
Okay,
I
thought you played. Okay, so
no, my dad used to though.
Yeah. So Samantha, did you have a kind of like a sports background coming in before cornhole, or?
Yeah, I played basketball for 10 years before I started cornhole. Yeah, that was the only thing. School and basketball.
Yeah, I think that's what I think when you talk to all the top players, is there's always there's sports that have gone on in the family, or that they've done to keep that competitive edge, to be able to play at a high level, to keep that, because Christine and I talked about it before. It's a mental game, but it's also that you have the endurance to play in the long tournaments when you're there for that full day.
Yeah. And you have to be competitive.
No, definitely.
Definitely have to have the drive to win, to keep going.
Yeah. Sometimes I have that drive. It just, my arm can't catch that check sometimes. But yeah, it's because it's that, you have that mental, but once you're inside your head, I've always found that it's easier said to be able to get out of it than what it is actually trying to get out of your head when you do throw that, when you start kind of on that little bit of a slump.
And I think too, not to bring this up on purpose, but all of us female players, we don't, there's not as many of us. And I still don't really understand if that's just from a competitive perspective, or don't have time to play as much, or what it is. So I am so excited that there's more and more females starting to play.
Me too.
Because for a while there, it wasn't as many. And it's still not as many, but it's kind of exciting that there's more and more and more females getting into this. So
I'm signed up for a tournament right now that AAR Roofing is holding, and there's over 100 women singles signed up for it.
Okay, that's awesome. Oh,
that's great. Even at the championship, we haven't had over 100 women playing. So I think maybe this virtual being able to play has helped get more women involved, and having the time and maybe getting used to the competitive aspect of it.
Well, I think that's what Christine, like you and I, when we first talked about doing the live show like this year, was that it's almost like the male dominated players are the ones that are getting most of the airtime, where you're not really. I think they need to focus more on the female players for the ESPN broadcast, because then that will bring more into the game.
Yeah, but I think right now they are trying to. So, we at least are one of the games that get broadcasted. So
every time.
That's all we can ask for at the moment. Honestly. I mean, what do you think, Samantha?
Oh, I agree 100%. I think it's awesome
that we're still out there getting on TV every time is fantastic, because it became doubles and then us and then singles if there's time.
Yeah, so they make sure we're right there in the middle.
Out there. So, and I think that's helping it grow as well, because I don't know how you feel, Samantha, but when people come up to you, there's people that come up to you sometimes and they're so excited to meet you and get a picture and an autograph or whatever. And I want to be out there. I want them to start playing. I'm so excited when they do that, because I'm like, okay, that's good. There's going to be more female players. I want us to dominate the guys someday. I'm sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we will. I definitely think we're going to get.
Goal. You know that. That's our goal.
Yeah.
and exactly that's Kim Pohl here said that she loves playing in mixed tournaments because she likes beating that guy that's a good player, which is usually me, I guess, but that she's usually beating. But but yeah, it's that thing that you want to see that the sport
Yeah.
grow where
That excitement, like.
Yeah, like I noticed in our new Dundas League, it's near Hamilton here, there's a lot of couples playing in that league, and same as our other one in Peterborough as well. There's a lot of. It seems like there's more couples playing the game now, where it's like almost a night out, and now then the wives are now coming to the conference tournaments, which that got us our women's division and our mixed doubles division that Ariel got to play in, and it was great to see because that brings more people, and it becomes a more fun time with more social.
Yeah, I think
I agree 100%.
Doubles and co-ed definitely help with that.
Yeah, and I was really excited to finally see that, because that's the one thing that we were lacking up here, was just that we needed the more female players, because it was, and that's, I want to say, out of probably the top 20 players I've seen coming up, I'm going to say probably 15 are female players that are just going hard. There's like Ariel, there's a couple from, like I said, from Dundas that are just, they're competitive and they're consistent, and it's great to see.
That's the thing in this game. There's no reason that we can't be.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping us. So we can be just as good. We need to keep going with it.
It's that whole anyone can play, anyone can win.
Exactly.
Right? And it's, you've got to go out and you got to play, and it's that fun element.
Yeah.
So I want to say hi to Pete Hickson here. He's from Australia, so we need to get him and some more people coming up from Australia to play. And I guess that's the other thing with talking about Australia, with so many more people now in Europe playing, and I've seen female players playing in Europe to kind of keep that kind of going as well too, with that whole Olympic talk that's been going on. I wasn't sure if you heard me there or not, but yeah, just with those, because we're seeing now more of the international virtual tournaments. You have like Morgan Fielder in that's playing out of Germany, who's formerly, she lived in the U.S. but now over in Germany. She's really kind of getting that kind of underground cornhole stuff going in Europe.
Yeah, that's awesome that we're getting more countries and people involved. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Well, exactly. Like, I've talked to a couple of people where they thought the Olympics were maybe 10, 12 years away, which it might be, but it might even be closer than that with so many more countries playing. You hear, like you see in the different Facebook groups where you've got people from England wanting to play. I've seen some people from South Africa wanting to start playing there, and it's just, there's some countries in Asia playing. We know the Australians have come up, so I think we're almost there. It's just that little turn of the corner.
In terms of Reynolds bags, we've had a lot of people interested in buying bags from different countries. So we're trying to figure out the whole shipping thing and doing it, because
that's awesome.
It's like one after another are asking us, can you ship to here and there? And I think we had somebody from New Zealand want to buy bags. I was like, oh my God, let me look into that.
Well, I think it was just this morning I'd seen someone in one of the groups asking how to get the better bags in England, because there's nowhere to get them there, right? So they're trying to find people that may have them, because they're playing on the shorter boards with the different bags. So they're trying to get that whole, and I think once all those other better bags come over there, I think that's just then it's gonna skyrocket again.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, because going from just those regular corn-filled bags to then our more high-tech kind of bags that we have now with a whole different services, that just totally changes the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
So I know, Ariel, you've just started using the Octane bags with the Apex bags. So, I guess your thoughts on the different ones.
Yeah, personally, I like the octane bags better. I find, no, I'm not trashing you. Forgive me. The Reynolds are too thick for me. I can't hold them. I think I apologize.
It's
But I
okay.
should tell you I'm not offending you. But yeah, I find the Reynolds, they're too thick for me. So sometimes when I'm holding them, I find it harder to spin. Whereas the Octanes, they're a bit thinner, so it's easier to hold in my hands. I also like the Game Changers because they're really thin and they're lighter. But yeah, like I'm not too picky on my bags. The only ones that I would say that I struggle with are the Reynolds, but other than that,
Which Reynolds ones?
They're my dad's. I can't remember.
So I think it's the Pro. I think she has the Pro Advantages.
Yes, I think so.
I think because Matt from our league got a bunch of the Pro Advantages. Probably was 2 years old. Right. So yeah. So we've had them for a while here. So
I can find it for you. I promise.
And Steve just says yes. They're the Pro Advantages.
There we go.
But that is that is the good thing where there is so many companies out there, right? That it's everyone has their preference and it's that's where I'm not sure if you guys have seen it in any of the Facebook groups, but it's like people are asking, what should I get? What do I have to get? And then you have like 800 people chime in that you have to get this bag, you have to get this bag, and it's
ReynoldsBags.com.
It's like you won't know until you actually get that bag in your hand and you throw it, right? It's
right. And if you throw hard or soft, or if you like a slick bag, sticky, there's so many different factors.
Yeah.
I just know I need a sticky side, and I don't want them to be flopping over my fingertips.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, well, especially with Florida, you get that little more humidity down there.
Yeah.
So then you get that totally different bag than what someone would want to have up here playing, right? It's just that there's so much more that goes into a bag now that when you're choosing a bag, where you're at, where you're throwing, what kind of throw you have, what kind of throw you want to have.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, it's that chess game. You gotta really know what you know.
Oh, a lot of times I get emails from people asking me, what bag do you recommend for me? Like, that's a really difficult question. It's honestly a difficult question. Unless I know how you throw, how am I going to give you a good judgment of what bag might be best for you? So it's hard sometimes to answer people's questions because when they come across all these bags, they have no idea what they want. Some of them are just starting to throw, so they have no idea. And without knowing how somebody throws, so then I just start to ask them questions. Like, do you throw a soft bag? Do you throw a hard bag? Do you put a lot of spin on your bag? Do you like a sticky side? Because there's so many different bags out there that it's hard to answer that question sometimes.
Exactly. It's like Kim has said in the chat here that it's like choosing the right bat in baseball, because it's all what your preference is, what you want to do, and it's that's the notion that some people have about cornhole is you're just grabbing a bag and you're just going to play. Well,
right.
No, there's so many more variables within the game that makes it better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, like Steve says, he likes his Reynolds bags, but it comes down to where he's playing. It's outside versus inside, hot versus cold temperatures. It's I guess that's why, Steve, you bring that suitcase with like 10 sets of bags with them to every tournament. But yeah, it's just that's I personally think that's what makes the game more interesting, because you have that other, so many more dynamics to bring in than just throwing a bag at a board into a hole.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategy. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, like, for myself, that's that like I said, that's what makes it fun. And it's like Steve said, it's all about the selection, which there's so much out there for selection as well. So, but
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
it's and then you got the cost involved too, because it's at least there's some of those bags, like we said before, there's some of those bags that are just insane. You can get 4 bags from one company for twice as much as 8 bags from another company, but just because someone has said that name, they want to have them. Where and it's like, why do you want to throw that? Because that type of person is, they're not going to be able to throw it anyway, right? So it goes back to what you said, Christine, where how am I supposed to know how you play?
right. It's hard to give people advice sometimes when you don't really know them. So
Yeah.
and then I try to, we try to guide somebody in the right direction and give them their options and let them figure it out, because it really is. You're probably going to have to try several sets of bags before you find something you like. And I don't mean just several sets of Reynolds bags. I mean, you could try different companies' bags, like you're going to have to try some bags before you figure it out. I mean, until you find something that you really like and you're comfortable with and you can consistently throw. So whatever that bag type is, bag company, whatever, but ReynoldsBags.com.
Yeah. I always like that you end up turning into Goldilocks.
Just hold up a sign.
Just one more time.
like I said, you got to turn into Goldilocks, because you got to try every type of forage, every type of chair. You've got to go through, try everything, and it's just then that can be fun, expensive sometimes, but can be fun. You just have to hope that other people have those bags there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's good to have a couple of different bag choices that you like, just based on the conditions. I mean, I don't know that I'm a fan of carrying around, 10 different sets of bags, but having, a couple options is good, because depending on the board conditions, if it's sticky or it's, because a lot of the time, like say for instance in Cleveland, a lot of the boards we play on are faster. So then we'll go to the nationals and the boards will be a little bit slower. So you might need a couple different bag options just in case the conditions change or change. I mean, everybody knows conditions change throughout the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So like something that you're comfortable with, maybe a couple options, So yeah.
Well, that was the thing when we, and Steve may be able to chime in on this too, is that when we went down to Cherokee for the first time in 2018, we went down with our bags that we had just seen, but then all of a sudden we get down there and it's like the boardmen have all their bags there, Reynolds has all their bags there, all Cornhole has all theirs. Like, how am I supposed to figure this all out? It's all this, that a new toy kind of, I want that, and that, but you don't really have the time to try everything out. And speaking of Cleveland, the other thing I wanted to see was how it was going to be like throwing underground at that convention center. Just kind of how that would have made it different.
Yeah, I mean, every place plays a little different, I think. So, I mean, like I said, it was the national that never happened, so we won't ever know. Right, Samantha?
Right. But it was regardless. It was nice to play one last time with people before our month off.
Yeah.
For me, it was just that one chance at a national for me going to this year. That was,
really?
Because, and you guys probably see it, because you guys get to go to more, but it's almost like that reunion because you get to see people that you haven't seen for a while,
Yeah.
right? Where there's some people who I haven't, you talk to them on, you send a message or whatever, but it's to see people in person talking to them because, I last seen some of them in 2018. And then it was like, I was going to be able to get a chance to see these people here because, we spoke of him before. And if he's watching again, Rob Chismark, I'm still chasing you down for you to be on the show because you said it like 4 times you were going to come on. But it's just seeing those different people like that because it's that whole family atmosphere that everyone just gets along.
Yeah.
And it's like if anyone's watching it that knows Rob Chismark, because I'm going to say his name again, is you cannot laugh or smile when he's around.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's one of my favorite people.
He's going to do something. He's going to say something. There's the odd time when he's wearing something that you just have to smile at with, because he's that type of guy. And there's so many people that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. My closest friends that I've met through Cornhole, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Like I had him on the show last week is Timothy Pitcher's one other guy that I was just sitting on the balcony in Cherokee and we just struck up like a half-hour conversation. I'd never talked to him before, but I'm like, holy cow, that's Timothy Pitcher, right? But it's just the thing being the pros like Samantha and Christine, you are just your regular players like Ariel and I when you're at these tournaments. It's just you're not, you might play up here, but you're still down here with everybody else, which makes the game fun because and that's partly why I started doing the show here like this, because people just see you on the boards and they don't get a chance to actually get to know you, right? That it's it's everyone's just here for fun and playing a fun game.
Yep.
And we all love our Cornhole family.
Yes.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Really
and seeing Paul Marshall here saying he wanted to go to. Him and I were in the same vehicle going down, and he said he just wanted to play with new players, and he likes watching the pros and learning. Well, him and I are kind of the same at times with our playing, but it is that learning thing where you're seeing the better players play, and you're learning all the time.
Well, I mean, we're all learning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, everybody, no matter what level you're at, you're learning all the time. There's always something you can get better at and practice and, some weakness you have that you need to. Exactly. It's like
Definitely.
We're constantly working at a game all the time, no matter who it is. So
you can.
Rob and I were just talking about blocking this weekend.
Oh, I know.
The blocking.
Well, see, that becomes that whole other thing with the virtual game with the blocking thing because that's not there, right? So that's that whole.
They've been doing some ghost defense, and I just started playing that last week in a league, and it's awesome because you actually get that where you have to go around blocks and things like that. So you don't get to practice yours as much, but you can at least practice like getting around it.
Getting around stuff, yeah.
Because I had seen that when the ghosts first started coming out, I had seen people that were just constantly playing that. And then I'm not sure, Ariel, if you've seen it in league nights, is you could see those people start to drop a little bit because you would start throwing a block up against them. And they were like, I've been playing Ghost like 8 times a day. I'm not used to someone putting a block there. I've got to try and airmail over top of you. And they can't do it because it's that whole new element for them, which is things. So that's where kind of like the Ghost and all the virtual stuff has its good stuff to a degree, but then once you start getting lines where someone wants to not let you do what you want to do, it's that whole level back in.
Oh yeah, for sure, I agree.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, but I also block myself enough, and then if you're playing Ghost 9, and then if you block yourself, you're like get to the point where okay, are you going to try to keep trying to push that bag, or are you going to go around it? And you still have to figure out shots to not give up points because you're always playing against someone who's playing the same number as you are. So it's not as much strategy, sometimes with not having another person, of course, but I don't know. I'm a fan.
Yeah, if I was better at it, I might be a fan too. But that's kind of like the story of my cornhole life, is just always striving to get better. So I'm saying here, Steve says that he throws blocks to Ariel all the time, and she just works on, as we call it, the Ariel mail that she works on, and she's done it to me like more than I even want to know. But it's that game where you get the players that are coming up that are getting better because of this other practicing as well, right? And that's what we want to see. We want to see players like Ariel coming from competitive up to the advanced, which is our top one right now. We're not at the pro level yet, but it's that progression is what you want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And we've got about 10 or 15 players that are ready to make that step from the competitive to the advanced, and that's what that kind of gets me excited more than anything when I go to watch these people play, is because we've got you're seeing that progression. And that's what makes it fun. It's all coming to be able to challenge you guys at tournaments and just not look really, really bad.
Well, we all have our games.
But so we're coming up on the hour here. Ariel, did you have anything else that you'd want to ask them, or if there's any other questions from the people that are watching, or if Christine or Samantha, if you have any other thing you want to say?
Wise words of wisdom.
Keep playing, for sure. Practice.
Practice.
Playing. Yeah. And the best practice is playing people that are beating you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am if I weren't playing Christine a few times a year, her beating me down. So
Oh gosh.
No, but it's true.
I know.
I mean, that's what you have to do.
We all feel that same way, seriously. Like if it weren't for Chucky Love beating me down constantly, I probably wouldn't be where I am either. So I just keep coming at them and losing, and it's fine. Shout out Chucky Love. Hopefully you're not listening right now.
I know Chucky Love is one of Steve's favorite players. So, but yeah, and then that's like what you said. It's playing those people that are better than you, because then once you finally do beat them, that's what you remember.
Those wins,
right?
What it's all about.
It is.
Ariel knows Jamie Cowan in our local league. He hates it when I talk, because I talk about my 2 wins that I've had against him. He then says, "Oh, you're gonna put it on Facebook?" And it's like, well, sure, I can do that again, because I already did about it. But it's that thing where it's you want to strive against those better players. I know, Ariel, you're probably like that way with your dad. You're wanting to always get that best of him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do that all the time. Even when we're practicing in our front yard or whatever, I tell him, I'm like, I'll crap talk him a little bit and be like, I'm gonna win this time, just so you know. So don't cry or anything like that. But it's gonna happen. And sometimes he'll end up looking at me at the end of the game and go, "Well, you tried, bud. You tried." And then there are times, like, I have beat him a few times, but I find that I only beat him when we're around other people. Like, for some reason, like when we're at the league, I can beat him just fine. But when we're at home, I don't know what it is. I cannot. Like, it's a struggle for some reason to beat him when we're at home. But yeah, getting out the practice and doing it at home and continuing to try and beat him while we're playing, it helps me a lot for sure. And I've gained a lot of experience from it too. Because he doesn't only just throw bags with me. Like, he sits and talks with me like, "Hey, bud, like, what, don't rotate, like, don't spin it so fast, or don't spin it so hard." He's like, or you're not throwing it like a pancake. You're throwing it like this, and it's landing on the board like a wall. He's like, flatten your bag, stuff like that. Like, he gives tips as we're playing too. So yeah, I enjoy it for sure.
Oh, that's fun.
Exactly.
Cool.
My other bit of advice is, just watch everybody too. Like, watch what players do, because you really learn a lot from watching how people play and why they try the shots they try, why they're doing what they're doing. So you have to learn what your strengths are and your weaknesses and practice your weaknesses even more. And just watch people's strategy sometimes, because it really is. It's a lot. Like you got, like once you're good at practicing and getting that bag up the middle, then it's really just the strategy of all the different shots. Like in this instance, do you want to push? Do you want to airmail? Do you want to go around that bag? What do you want to do? You know, so it really is like you just got to watch everybody, that all the good players that are really good at the strategy. Pick up on it, you know.
Yeah,
and figure out what you're good at and what you're, you know, like some people are better at pushing than airmailing. Some people are better at getting around bags. Like learn what your strengths are so you know what shot to do, like what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, so I want to thank the three of you for coming on. It's been a fun show to do. If you're still watching, check the description. You get to see there's a YouTube link for Christine's bio. We've got a link for Samantha. You had a 4-bagger at the 2019 that I found on YouTube. We put that link on there. You got there's another link for Ariel, her mixed doubles championship, the first mixed doubles that we had at a conference with her dad Steve. That video is on there. You guys actually took out the #1 player in Canada in that game with Jeff Shantz. So you guys did amazing in that there. So it's, you know, those 3 videos are down there. Check them out. You look on YouTube and there's tons of stuff on here. If you want to see how other players play, how any kind of tips and stuff, just check it out, because I know I sit and just check out cornhole videos on YouTube, because it's, you know, it's a game that we all have fun playing, and it's just a way to keep up with friends.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It was really fun.
But yeah, so we'll definitely have to do this here one more time coming up here soon. So everyone, stay safe, keep playing the virtual stuff, and hopefully, I think just around the corner we're going to be back playing live with friends. So stay safe, keep playing that virtual game, have fun, and we will see you next week on the Down and Back Live.